Hi friends, Teresa, Mustard Seed Sewing. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Farmhouse Friday. And today we're going to go out to the barn and take a quick look at the baby bunnies and see how they are growing. And then we're going to come back in the house and we're going to talk about the difference between wool dryer balls and fabric softener sheets. So I'll be right back. So we're out here in the rabbitry. I wanted to give you an update on the baby bunnies that were born a week ago. We're going to take a look at them and we'll weigh one. We'll say hi to Mama Nala and check them out. Hi, sweetheart. Good morning. Oh, okay. We'll just leave you be then. There's their nest box. They're all still buried in there, all nice and snug and warm and cuddly. And there they are. We've got some that are on the gray side. And we've got some that are pretty black. Well, this one's black with a little bit of gray and otter colored. And oh, look at this black one. Look at the coloring on his neck. I bet this is the one I showed you last time that was going to have white on his neck. That's more of a cinnamon color. And I want to show you, you know that baby bunnies are getting fed really well when they got big old fat bellies like that. Mama is feeding them just great when that happens. So let's pull one out of here. Let's see. There we go. And we'll walk on down to the scale. This one's all black. We'll walk on down to the scale and see how much this one is weighing. And Torty's going to help us with weighing. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Miss Torty. Alrighty. There you go, little bun. So 6.4, and what was it, 2.4 last week? So it's almost tripled its size. Say hi to YouTube land. Oh, we'll go put you back in your little nest and stay all cozy warm with your siblings. A couple of them, their eyes are just starting to open. You see the slits are starting to come along. So this is day 8 for them, and their eyes usually start to be open around day 10. So a few more days, and they're going to be seeing and hearing. So I'll cover them back up and put them back in here for Mom, and I'll see you back in the house. Wasn't that fun? I love to watch the baby bunnies grow. They're cute, they're cuddly. Well, they're not terribly cuddly at this age. They're more popcorny because when there is activity in the nest, they're thinking Mama's coming to feed them, and I gotta popcorn up and get a hold of some of that good milk before somebody else beats me to it. But here in the next couple weeks, when they start to look more like rabbits, they start to be cuddly looking and their personalities start to come out. So I'll be taking you along. So today we're going to talk about the difference between fabric softener sheets and wool dryer balls. Now, why would that be something that we need to talk about? Well, if you'll remember, I've talked in the past about my desire to live life simpler and to live life in a way that is more sustainable. And I think it'll become clear to you as we have this talk here that what my preference is. Fabric softener sheets and wool dryer balls. There's pros and cons for both. So let's talk about fabric softener sheets first. You know, there's some great smelling sheets out there that soften your clothes and reduce static cling. And that's the whole point of using a chemical or liquid fabric softener or a fabric softener sheet. You are adding scent to your clothing. They help to soften them. They help to reduce They help to reduce static cling. You know, but there's some things to take into consideration, even with those benefits. What comprises that scent that is in the liquid or on the sheets. And how does the sheets, how do they actually soften your clothes? And so I did a little bit of research, and what I discovered is there are actual molecules that are on the fabric softener sheets. One article called them fat molecules, that add a coating to our clothing or our towels, that helps to soften them and add the fragrance at the same time. I don't know about you, but I don't want any more fat in my life than I already have. So, yeah. What else? Fabric softener sheets, liquid fabric softener has been linked to dermatitis, skin rashes, to asthma, and to migraines. I will say, though, in my research that for every article that I read that said it's going to cause you a migraine, I would read an article that says, oh, that's totally not true. So you would want to do your own testing and see whether or not that makes a difference in your life. So wool dryer balls, they're chemical free. They do soften clothes. They reduce static cling. A lot of people like to use the fabric softeners because you're adding a scent to your clothing. Well, with wool dryer balls, you can add some lavender essential oil or whatever your favorite essential oil scent is. You can add a few drops to the wool dryer balls and add some scent, some natural scent to your clothing that way. Obviously, there's no chemicals used in the wool dryer balls. At one point, I even made my own from wool yarn. I learned how to felt the yarn and make the balls. Probably took about a week's time by the time that I got all the felting done, and just learned through the process there. I did struggle a little bit as the balls got older. They would eventually start to unravel. One component, one difference between the two that I hadn't thought of that I learned when I was doing my research was that wool dryer balls actually affect the drying time. And the articles and studies that I read about indicated that drying time is reduced by about 10% when you use dryer balls. And the reason for that is because the balls are creating a separation between your clothing items or your towels. And so that allows the heat in the dryer to be able to circulate easier and better. And of course, that wouldn't be true of fabric softener sheets. So it's probably pretty clear, pretty obvious by now that I prefer wool dryer balls, and have one here you can see. They get a little fuzzy. They get a little bit of nap on them as time goes by, and so every couple months I need to pull that nap off, and I just use the nap as a fire starter out at our fire pit. The last aspect that I want to talk about between fabric softener sheets and wool dryer balls is the cost. So I did a quick jump on Amazon to get some prices, and I just chose the first item in each column, for fabric softener sheets and wool dryer balls. And the first item for the fabric softener sheets was $12.97 for 180 sheets. That's 7 cents a sheet, and it was a nationally known brand. If I said it, you would recognize it. The wool dryer balls were $13.99 for 6 dryer balls. So I did a little bit of math, and I do about 260 loads of laundry a year. Using fabric softener sheets at 7 cents a load, that's going to come out to about $18.57 a year. I mean, that's not a lot of money. $20, that's a couple lunches. That's not a whole lot. The wool dryer balls, I know the ones that I've had for at least 5 years, probably longer than that. But just to be on the conservative side, if I've been using them for 5 years, and they're $13.99 a piece. That's $2.69 a year for 6 dryer balls that I've used for at least 5 years and probably longer than that. So it's not a significant cost savings. I mean, we're talking $16 price difference between the two. But I am a firm believer that every penny counts. And I try really hard to always be on the lookout for ways that I can save costs, knowing that those little differences, those small amounts, that $16, over a lifetime, that's going to add up. Uh, so I use the dryer balls and I'm happy with them. Very occasionally do I have static cling. Usually it's when I'm doing a blanket. I did read when I was doing the research, and I'm going to try this one time. And that is that if you wet the dryer balls, just dampen them, not soak them, before you put your clothing into the dryer, that will help to eliminate static cling. And like I said, I do not have an issue with static cling. On a rare occasion, when I'm doing a blanket or maybe a big comforter or something, I might have a little bit. So I'm going to have to remember to try that the next time. So how about you? Have you ever tried dryer balls? What's keeping you from trying something new? Saving a little bit of money, keeping a few more chemicals out of your house, off your skin, especially if you have sensitive skin or someone else in your house does, or asthma or migraines. I know for Chris, scents they will start a migraine in no time at all. So something for you to think about, little ways to save money and to be a little healthier and to live life a little simpler. I think too, something to take into consideration is that, I'm not contributing to the waste, the trash. I don't have a plastic bottle or a paper carton or these polyester sheets that I'm throwing away. I have dryer balls that will last me for a really long time, and when they are done, they're made from a natural component, wool, so they're going to return to the earth. So there's a little bit of greenness involved in using them as well. So I just wanted to share that with you, and hopefully gets you to thinking, maybe do your own research or even give it a try sometime. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining me today. I enjoy doing these videos greatly. If you do, click on the subscribe button below and then you'll get notified every time I release a new video. And as always, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, mountains can be moved. God bless you.